Today we are developing simple OAF page. As last class we have discussed, JDeveloper is one of the tool. By using this JDeveloper tool, we'll develop the OAF pages, ADF pages, MAF pages, Mobile Applications Framework. All these three pages can be developed by using the JDeveloper tool. Now we are working with OAF pages. We are working with OAF pages. As we have discussed last architecture, what is the OAF architecture? It is MVC architecture. It is MVC architecture. Model, View, Controller. MAF, OAF, ADF, MAF. Oracle Applications Framework. Oracle Applications Framework. Application Development Framework. Application Development Framework. Mobile Application Framework. This all three pages can be done by using this tool, JDeveloper tool. By using the JDeveloper tool, all these three pages can be developed. This is JDeveloper is one of the rich internet application developer tool. Like internet applications we can develop by using PHP, .NET and HTML and other, we have WordPress like this. But JDeveloper is one of the rich internet look and feel internet applications, web applications can be developed. So in Oracle Applications R12 version, OAF has introduced. ADF is completely on Fusion. MAF still not at used, means product has released into the market, but no applications are developed by using MAF so far. Maybe in the Fusion they'll use in the future. We are working for OAF. As we have already discussed, OAF is a MVC architecture, Model, View, Controller. Model, View, Controller. So what is model? It contains your BC4J components. Yes, indirectly it is a database, tables, views and other. It contains view objects, entity objects and application module. Three things you will find. These three we call it as a BC4J components. Business components for Java. These three we call it as a BC4J components. Business components for Java. So in the model we will find three objects: view object, entity object, application module. These three we call it as a BC4J objects, business components for Java. View is nothing but your HTML page. View is nothing but a HTML page. Internally it is a XML. Internally it is a XML. It is UIX interface. User interface control. Next, controller is nothing but a Java class. Controller is nothing but a Java class. We'll write the code here. Controller is nothing but a Java class. We'll write the code here. Okay. So controller contains how many methods? 3 methods we have. Out of that, 2 will be using, 1 we cannot touch, that is internal process. What is the first one? Process request, process form request, process form data. There are 3 methods in your Java class. There are 3 methods in the Java class. Process request method, process form request, process form data. This process form data we don't use. It is internally for data cache purpose. That I will tell you later where exactly it is used. 2 are mandatory. Whenever you create a controller, controller means Java class. Whenever you create a Java class, by default you will get 2. Process request and process form request. Process request method fires when the page load first time. The page load first time. Process request method fires automatically whenever the page is loaded first time. Whenever you open the OAF page first time, this process request method fires automatically. So if you have any requirement like when the page is loaded, I want to execute some code or some logic, you have to write inside of this method. Inside of this method, we have to write. Process form request method fires for user interactions. For user interactions after the page load. This will be fired whenever user makes some interactions. Nothing but a click the button, check the checkbox. This all user interactions, this method will be fired. So only 2 methods. Indirectly 2 triggers. We can call it as a triggers. In PLSQL, what is the trigger definition? PLSQL or in reports we have discussed. It's a PLSQL code or PLSQL program which will automatically fires whenever any event occurs. Same thing here also. These 2 methods will be fired. One is when the page is loaded first time. Another one is for user interactions. Fine. Now we are going for simple page development. Before that, we'll just see the environment of JDeveloper tool. This is your JDeveloper tool. Go to View menu, Application Navigator. View menu, Application Navigator. It will show you your Applications Navigator. View menu, Applications Navigator. It is just like an object navigator. In reports we have seen, right? Data model, layout model, triggers, the same way. While working with the report builder, we have seen the object navigator window. Yes. Here we are going to call it as a object navigator. Here we are going to call it as a application navigator. So by using application navigator window, we'll define the applications. We'll define the applications. Next. Again, view menu, structure. View menu, structure. Structure window is used to display your application structure. Whenever you select the application, that it will show the internal structure. Nothing but a hierarchy. Nothing but a navigation or a hierarchy. Whenever you select any application, that what structure is defined. For example, if you define a controller, internally some parameters or some methods will be created. Where do you find, if you select the controller here, automatically it will show that controller object information. Controller object information will be displayed. So view menu, structure window, it will shows the structure. Whatever the application you have selected, that application structure details. If you select the page, then what are the objects you have in the page, it will show you. Next, view menu, log. This is log window. This already everybody knows. When you try to compile your page, when you run your page, if there are any log messages or error information, will find. View menu, log window. This log window will shows warning messages, error messages. This are. View menu, property inspector. Nothing but a properties. In reports also we have seen last time, when you define any object, right click, property inspector. Yes. Same way here also. View menu, property inspector. These four. You will get one more thing, controller window. When you create a controller, you will get that will select. Generally 5 windows will find in our JDeveloper. Application navigator, structure, log window, property inspector, and controller. In case if you create a controller, when you will create a controller, even we want to write some logic. If you say I don't want any logic, then controller is not required. Controller is required when you want to write some logic code, then we go for controller. Whenever you double click on the window, it will come as a full screen. Whenever you double click on the window, then automatically it will be full screen. Then again, how to come back, again you have to double click. If you double click, again it comes into the same position. For example, if you double click this structure window, it will come into the full page. Again double click this, you will come back. Like this you can. So I'm going to close all these windows, again open it. View menu, application navigator, view menu, structure, view menu, log, view menu, properties. This is just user environment. When we start working with JDeveloper, last class we discussed JDeveloper architecture, right? First we have to define Java Workspace. It is a group of your Java projects. First we have to define Java Workspace. Nothing but a group of Java projects. One workspace is nothing but a group of projects. One workspace is nothing but a group of projects. These all are, we have to just remember workspaces. In the real time we don't create workspace. Already one workspace will be there. Already one project will be there. Inside of that project we will be working with the pages. As a team member, our job is working with the pages. They don't assign entire project to one person. A project leader is going to lead the entire project. So inside of that, pages will be working. So first we have to define Java Workspace. Nothing but a group of Java projects. Then after that we have to create a Java project. JPR. After that we have to create a Java project. JPR. Java project is nothing but group of pages. Java project is nothing but a group of pages. Java project is nothing but a group of pages. Group of our OAF pages. We call it as a Java project. Inside of Java project, we will go for create the AM application modules, view objects, entity objects. This all will go for page. AM and VO will be created in which folder? Dot server. In dot server, will create view object and application module. Entity object will be created in schema.server. Entity object will be created in schema.server. Page will be created in dot web UI. Page will be created in dot web UI. Nothing but a web user interface. Dot web UI. Nothing but a web user interface. These three parts we have to remember. AM and view object will be created in dot server. Entity object will be created in dot schema dot server. Page will be defined in dot web UI. These are folders inside of server folder. Like last time in Oracle Apps, we have uploaded reports into the reports US folder, forms into forms US folder, SQL files into the SQL folder. Like that, we have to work with OAF also. Whenever we create object this, we have to create in this path. So when we want to develop the page, what are the basic steps we require? First we have to create a Java space, Java workspace. If already workspace is available, no required. Then we have to create a Java project. Then we have to create a Java project. Then we have to create a Java project. Then we have to go for create AM application module. Then we have to create the page. As soon as create the page, we have to attach AM to the page. Two properties we have to configure for the page. One, you have to attach AM, Another one is window title. These two properties we have to configure. Then we have to run the page. Now we are not working with any database. If at all you want to work with the database, then you have to create a view object. That is for select the data. Now you want to apply the DML, then you have to create a entity object. That is for DML operations. Right now we are not working with, or we are not doing any database activities. Just we have to go for simple. These steps all are optional. Java Workspace, if already available, no need. Project also no need every time. First time we'll create. Then we'll go for create our AM, our page, attach AM to the page, and then run the page. AM must be attached to the page, because whatever the transactions you are doing in this page, which are handled by this AM, whatever the transactions you are doing through this page, those transactions are handled by AM. Transactions means insert, update, delete, select, commit, rollback. All these transactions, whatever you are doing in this page, those transactions are handled from the AM. So without AM, we cannot develop the page. Without AM, we cannot develop the page. You can have multiple AMs also. You can have multiple AMs also for a single page. You can have multiple AMs also for single page. Then which AM you will attach? Root application will be there. One AM will be there, root application AM, that we have to attach. If we have 2-3 AMs, root application will be there. Root application AM will be there, that we have to attach. Root is nothing but a base, main AM. You can get our chair out outside. Open the door now. So root application AM is there, that we have to attach. That we'll discuss how to attach. This is just for basic concept wise. Without AM, no page. We can have multiple AMs to the page also.
So you now attach other AMs to the root.
Yes, inside of logic will attach. Fine. Open, door open here. Door open at left. Fine. First we'll go for creating the Java workspace. Creating the Java workspace. Go to application navigator, right click, new OA workspace. There is applications icon, right? Right click, new OA workspace. New OA workspace. If you click also new, same, but manually you have to do. If you select new option, manually you have to do. New OA workspace means wizard. Wizard will be populated. Select new OA workspace. Now you can see here what is the name of the workspace you would like to create. Some name we will provide. I'm mentioning the file name as, let's say, MRF Java workspace, some name. .jws you got automatically Java workspace. By default will get. In which directory you would like to create this Java workspace? In which directory you would like to create this Java workspace? By default, when you install JDeveloper software, you will be giving some path. By default, you will be giving some path, you will get automatically that. If we want to change that path, we have to do it from the installation. From the installation, we have to change. Now, if you want to create new one, you can create, otherwise we'll continue. Right now, we are creating our Java workspace in the folder called My Projects. In the folder called My Projects. So now you can see this D drive, this folder, Java dev bin, JDev bin folder, My Projects. In this directory, you are creating your Java workspace. You are creating your Java workspace. I'll show you that. Fine, it will be created automatically. My projects folder. Right now it is not available. Fine, it will be created automatically. So we have given the Java workspace file name and directory name. And already we discussed one workspace means either one project or multiple projects. Now it is going to ask you, you want to add a new OA project. Means your workspace is going to be created successfully. That's fine. But immediately you want to go for project, OA project, or you want to create later. Let's say we'll create later. I don't want immediately project window. So I'm going to uncheck this. Open in new Navigator. You want to open this Java workspace separate Navigator. This is your applications Navigator. And my workspace, I want to have the separator here, separate Navigator. Then what we'll do, we'll check this checkbox. So now it will be opened in the separate Navigator. We have just created a Java workspace. We have not created any project inside of this. Right click, new OA project. Right click, new OA project. Now this is project wizard. This is project wizard. Already Java workspace is created successfully. Inside of that we are creating the project. Inside of that we are creating the project. What is the name of the project? MRF sales. Which folder you want to create this project? Directory name. earlier my projects folder, it was not there. We have created our Java workspace. We got automatically my projects folder. Inside of my projects, we have our Java workspace. Now we are going to create project also here only. Inside of this folder only we are creating the project. What is your default package name? Nothing but a folders. Package is not our database package. PLSQL we have package, right? That is different. We can forget completely about the package here. So here default package is nothing but a default folders. In which folder you would like to have all your components. Components are nothing but this AM, VO, EO, this all things. In which folder you want to have default package. Oracle applications package names take the form oracle.apps.application short name dot component dot subcomponent dot web UI. So Oracle applications OAF pages, whatever we are developing, that will follow this format. This is a standard format suggested by Oracle. We have to follow the same format only. So first your client name, mrf dot oracle dot apps dot which module? PO module, PO dot requisition dot web. This requisition name also we can have any name. These are just folder names we can have, but web UI is mandate. Web UI is mandate. First name will mention any name, client name, dot oracle dot apps dot po dot requisition dot web UI. This entire name we can change, but again we'll get confused. Instead of that, we'll follow the standard Oracle format. Third party identifier, nothing but your client name dot oracle dot apps dot this. Next. So this is the path we are going to create. Right now we don't have here. In my projects, we don't have that path. Those folders are not there. We are going to create now. Next. Database connection. We can use existing database connection. I'll show you how to create a new database connection. Generally it's a DBA job, but we'll see how to create database connection. Select existing connection. No database connection available. No problem, we'll create. Select view menu, connection navigator window. View menu, connection navigator window. It will be used to define the database connections for application servers, BOM server, integration, database server, some other web development, some other servers. Right now we require database connection. Go to database. Already one connection is there, but it's not working. We'll create now. We'll create now. So whenever you select your database connectivity, inside of that it is showing your structure. Structure is nothing but what components are available and what are that. Now we are creating a new database connection. Select database folder, right click, new database connection. What is the name of the connection? MRF database. MRF database. What is the name of the connection? MRF database. Username and password. Username is apps, password also apps. Whatever database connection you have, save. When you are working with the Toad, you will mention, right? Yes. How to find here connections? Go to session, new connection. In the Toad, we have session, new connection. There is one button here, TNS names editor. TNS names editor. Click this button. Go to text editor. Here we will find the details. Fine. So now we have given username is apps, password is apps. Next button. Now what is your host name? Name of the host. So here we can find what is your host name. This apps.vora.com. This we have to copy paste. Whenever we want to connect to the database, we have to open the TNS names file. TNS names file, it will show you what is the host name, what is the port number, and what is the service name. This are. So now give the host name. What is your port number? 1521 only we have. And what is your SID? Service ID. This. Vision. VAS. Host name, port number, SID, service ID. This details how to get, we have to open the TNS names file. Otherwise, you can do it from the Toad also. When you open the Toad, go to session, new connection, TNS names editor, text editor. We'll find the host name, port number, service. Test the connection. Successfully, we have created database connection. You have to test your connection. Successfully, our database connection is created. Finish. We created database connection. Generally, this window not required, we can close it. So database connection we have to create before we start working with the pages. I thought of existing database connection is working. So how to create database connection? We'll open connection Navigator window and we'll create. So inside of Java Workspace, we are creating new OA project. Name of the project, MRF sales project. And where you want to create, which directory. This we have mentioned, directory path. What is the administration.w. Connect your database. It has connected successfully. Your DBC file name, database connectivity file, that will find in the JDev path is JDev home, JDev DBC files secure, JDev home, JDev home, JDev DBC files secure folder, DBC files secure folder. There is a DBC file, database connectivity file, DBC file connect, bas.dbc file that we have to connect, connection. This is your application connection. Previous one, database. This is your application connection, DBC file. And what is your username? Whatever Oracle Apps username you have, that we have to select. I'm going for operations and user. Welcome. Operations and password is welcome. Last classes we created 635 user, 634 user. That also we can use, no problem. So we have to give Oracle applications username and password. Next, which responsibility you want to open this page? So far what we have done, first we used to connect application, Oracle applications. How to connect Oracle applications? We'll give the username and password, right? That's what I have done here. In the JDeveloper also I have given the username and password. After that I used to select here responsibility name. Responsibility name. That's what it is asking. What is your responsibility application short name and the responsibility key? What is your responsibility application short name and your responsibility key? You can take any responsibility, no problem. Whatever responsibility you are using, that should be attached for this user. That should be attached for the user. Now I am going for system administrator responsibility. I am going to use the system administrator responsibility. Go to system administrator, security, responsibility, define such system administrator. This is the responsibility. This is your responsibility key. This is the responsibility key that we have to mention here. Responsibility application short name. Responsibility application short name. This is your responsibility application full name. This is responsibility application full name. We have to find the short name. How will you find the short names in Oracle Apps? Simple. Go to application developer. So far we used to create executables, right? Concurrent program executable. Here PO means we used to give purchasing. PO is the short name. Purchasing is the full name. Then how will you find what is short name and what is full name? How to find? Go to application developer responsibility. Go to application developer responsibility. Application register. Application register. Search your application name, then it will show you what is the short name. Sysadmin is the short name for system administrator, system administration. Let's say PO. PO means what is? Purchase. General ledger. General ledger. General ledger means SQL GL. That is the short name. Now you are clear how to find the short name and how to find the full name. Right now we require short name here. So we can give any username and password, no problem. And we have to give the responsibility details which are assigned for this user. So what is the meaning of this? Whatever the page I am developing here, that I want to attach to this responsibility. Then who will open that? This user will open it. Next, finish. Now we have created project successfully inside of the workspace. We have created workspace first. Inside of that we have created the project that we'll find here. JPR, Java project and Java workspace. Next, after creating the Java workspace and Java project, next we have to create the AM, application module. Select project, right click, new, select the project, right click, new, ADF business components, ADF business components, application module, ADF business components, application module. ADF business components, application module. So we are creating the AM, application module. We are creating the application module. Which folder will create application module? Dot server. Here we have to change the path. Dot server. Dot server. Dot server is the folder where we will create application module. And what is the name of AM? That we can give any name. I am giving MRF AM. This generally will put capital letters AM, VO, EO, page. These names will put it as a capital letters. Controller stands for CO. We can give all our capital, no problem, it will work. But that is a naming convention. When you see the name, you can understand, okay, it is AM. First we will maintain the small letters, then last we will give the component name. We don't do anything, just close. We will create a AM in the dot server folder. Whenever we create a AM, that it should be available here, but it is not visible right now. What is the folder we have created? mrf.oracle.apps, PO, requisition, dot server, here it is. This is the package we have created, nothing but a folder. MRF folder dot oracle dot apps PO requisition. Inside of that dot server. In this folder we have created the A. Yes. MRF folder oracle. So we are just creating the structure where we want to save the AM, where we want to save the view object, where we want to save the entity object. So this structure we have already given while creating the project. Now AM we have created. Where the AM will be created? dot server. MRF Oracle. It's taking too much time. Fine, that folder will find. Whenever we create a AM, internally one Java class will be created. Select AM. Here it will show you in the structure. AM IMPL class. AM IMPL.java. You have some other XML, XCFC, those are not required anyway, that we don't use, that is for internal purpose. One Java class will be defined, AM IMPL class. Whenever we create AM, internally one Java class will be created called MRF. Sorry, MRF is not required, AM IMPL, nothing but a implementation class. IMPL stands for implementation. IMPL stands for implementation. That we'll discuss later. You can just remember that how to work with what it contains, we'll see later. Fine. After we create AM, then what we have to do? We have to create a page. Where do we create a page? Which folder? .webui. Page must be created in the .webui. Go to requisition. Server we have created, AM done. Go to requisition, right click, new. You can go to project and right click new, both are same. But if you go to the project, entire path you have to type. All this path again you have to type, mrf.oracle. Like that. Instead of that, if you go to requisition folder, what happened? Automatically it takes the path. Automatically it takes the path. Right click, new. Right click, new. OA components. Right click, new. OA components page. Right click, new. OA components page. Press OK. Now you can see the path has already taken by the system, and .webui you got automatically. .webui path you got automatically. Create the page, MRF sales page. I'm giving the page name as MRF sales page. Press OK. So inside of your requisition, two folders we have created. One is server, another one is WebUI. Server is used for which objects? AM and VO. Right now we done only VM. Next examples we will work with the view object. Schema.server is not required right now because we are not working with entity object. We are working with the page, so we have done the WebUI. This. Page is nothing but a group of regions. Page is nothing but a group of regions. Regions, group of regions. Regions are areas. Group of regions. Now if you look at this page, how many regions? You have 4 regions. This is one, application and structure, log region, property inspector. Like that, region is nothing but areas in your page. Okay, at least one region is required. At least one region is required, that is page layout region. Region style, you have number of styles. These all styles will discuss one by one later. Default region, one it will be there, that is page layout region. At least one region is required for the page. Default region is there, that is page layout region. That is page layout region. That is page layout region by default. Okay. Other regions we'll discuss one by one. So what we have done, we have created just page. and the page has got by default one region, and you got something corporate branding and corporate branding image, nothing but Oracle. You will get Oracle image, right? When you get a page, automatically you will get that. I'll show you, no problem. Okay. So what we have done, we have created a AM, we have created a page. Next we have to attach the AM to the page. So select your region. Now it is asking you here, what is the AM? Go to your region. There is nothing in the page. Inside of page, region is there. Go to the region, attach AM to the region. How many AMs are there right now? Only one. Select your AM. AM definition property is there. There we will be attached. Attach window title is mandate. MRF sales window title. Window title property is mandate. Title, if you want, you can give, no problem. Let's say something sales form title. But two properties are mandatory. One is AM definition, another one is window title. Two properties are mandatory: AM definition, another one is window title. That's all. We have developed the page. Right click on the page. If you want to compile the page, debug. Directly you want to run the page, no problem. Now the page is compiling here. You will get some warning messages that you can completely leave, no problem. Warning messages are very common in the Java coding. If there are any errors, we have to go through. Now this is your OAF page, and you can see window title here, MRF sales window title, and this is normal title. This is your normal title. And we discussed something corporate branding and corporate branding image. Those are nothing but this. This is your image, Oracle corporate branding. Generally companies, they'll change. They'll change this logo. That we'll discuss how to change the logo. It's very simple later. Privacy statement, home, logout, preferences, copyrights. This all comes branding, corporate branding. So this is how to develop a simple page in OAF and how to execute. So let me go for again now. Open JDeveloper, you will find the icon here, shortcut. Go to view menu, application navigator, view menu, structure, view menu log, view menu property inspector. You can verify database connection is already created or not. View menu connection navigator, database, yes. You want to test this, right click, properties, go to test. These all tabs already we have discussed, connectioning, authentication, connection, this already we discussed. Test. Now it's successfully working, this database connection. That's not required. First we have to create a Java workspace. Right click, new OA workspace. What is the name of the workspace? I'm giving Sony workspace. You want to add the new OA project? Yes, I want to continue with OA project Navigator window, and I want to open it in the separate Navigator. Now directly project window also opened, the project wizard. Okay, next, name of the project, Sony project, and which folder? This directory. Generally in my projects only will keep it. We can also store in separate. I'm giving the name of the client, sony.oracle.apps.po.requisition.webviewer. That is the package we are using. Nothing but a folders. Structure. Connect to the database. Next you have to provide application connectivity. Application, your DBC file name. Where is your DBC file? JDev home, JDev home, JDev DBC files, secure, vas.dbc, vas.dbc. And what is your Oracle applications username and password, operations and welcome. Which application your responsibility you want to use? System sysadmin is the shortcut, and responsibility name is responsibility key system administrator, right? System underscore administrator. If there is spelling mistake, your page cannot be executed. It will show error message. So your operations welcome and sysadmin system administrator. Finish. We created Java workspace and also we created a project. Inside of project we are going for AM. Right click, new, ADF business components, application module, create a AM must be created in the server, dot server, and name of the AM. We don't do anything, just we'll give the path and name of the AM, that's all. Here is. After creating the AM, next we have to create the page. Go to requisition, right click, new, OA components, page. Name of the page. .webui. You got automatically .webui. We don't need to enter. Press OK. Now we have created a page inside of the folder. By default, page will have one region. We can also have the multiple regions. What is the default region for the page? Page layout. Page layout is the default region for your page. Any OAF page if you create, by default you will find one region. What is the name of that region? Page layout. And we have to attach the AM to this. We have to attach this. There are two AMs. This is previous MRF, now current Sony. Attach the window title. Next title. That's all. Now go for run the page. Right click. Yes, yes. Now this is your window title and this is your title.
It is normal.
Yes. Two properties we have changed in the region. Select region, window title and normal title. Then you can stop the execution in case you want. You can terminate the process. Any modifications if you require, you can. This is how to develop one simple page in the OAF. Inside of this OAF, we will go for having the multiple regions that we'll discuss tomorrow. How to work with the multiple regions. Okay. So tomorrow we'll have at same 8 o'clock only. 8 to 10. Sorry? 9 your time. Okay, 9 o'clock as it is. So normal 7:30 batch will continue. Keep flexible. 7:30 to 8:30. 8:30 or 8:45. 9 to 10 will go for OAF. So tomorrow we'll make the simple controller. We'll write simple code, and this is how we can go for simple OAF. So OAF pages are very easy, but initially it will be long process. Initially it will be long process. Once you do the 4-5 times, then it will be clear. Okay. So how to install the OAF in your server? Naresh will give you. It is a 5 to 10 minutes discussion. He will tell you how to install it. If already OAF is installed in your system, no problem, you can leave it. You can leave the class. No, it is not installed. Now you want to install in your system. It is very simple. Naresh will explain you how to